Hey guys, and welcome to Mountain Crawlers. First things first, I do want to apologize in advance. I've been fighting being sick for the past week, so I apologize for a raspy voice and I might be sniffling a lot in this video, so bear with me. Another thing I want to apologize for in advance also is that it is middle of spring and the doors in the shop rattle like crazy. So let me show you how I tried to mitigate that so you guys can tolerate this video at least. So I just took some hose and jammed it in here. It actually helps reduce the noise by probably 75%. So we're just here in the dyno bay today doing some work on the Jeep, and just wanted to make it nice for you guys to be able to hear what's going on in the video. But yeah, today's video is on another product from Mike Tuning. Those guys are great. If you haven't seen my LED pod video on their pods, go check it out. I'll leave a link in the description, but let's see what they sent us. Okay, so Mike Tuning has sent us a 12 gang switch panel. And as some of you already know, I have an 8 gang in the Jeep currently. We'll be pulling that out. I'm not gonna show it on video though. And putting this guy in, because 4 extra switches is never a bad idea. So let's get her opened up. Label is saying RGB, red, green, blue, I believe. 12 gang switch panel. Installation instructions included, wide use on a variety of cars, different colorations, and adjustable brightness. And you can control up to 12 different LED lights or devices simultaneously. I'll pop that open. First things first, nice packaging like always from Mike Tuning. So you got your sticker collection for adding your switches, whole variety of stickers, user manual, and the good stuff. So this will be our fuse panel. Let's pop this guy open. All right, there you go. Got a fuse panel, got some maxi fuses, I like that. Okay, and the switch panel. All right, got some wiring for the battery, a whole bunch of bracketry, circuit breaker, extra fuses, and that'll be it. So let me get that aux beam ripped out, and I'm actually still going to give it to my brother-in-law with the 95 wide XJ, because I don't want it to go to waste, of course. And we'll get this guy in. So it seems like the aux beam and Mike Tuning bracketry is pretty similar. So I was able to actually just unbolt the old aux beam mount for the switch panel and bolt in the Mike Tuning. Mike Tuning is just a hair wider because the panel's wider, of course. And you guys are probably wondering, well, you got screws through your roof, but there is actually a false bracket right underneath this headliner that actually holds up the visors, so it's just bolted through that. It's not touching the roof at all, so don't worry. All right, so the Mike Tuning's mounted. Tuck the wire up underneath the headliner, route it down the 8-pillar, and it's going through the wiring harness boot right there, around the Jeep. Comes out by the clutch master to right here. So Nice thing is the mic tuning and aux beam fuse block bracket is the exact same, so I can just bolt it to the bracket, don't have to take it off the Jeep at all. Also, whenever you guys are taking wiring apart and you want to make sure you get it back in the same spot, it's just nice to label what wires went where. So like there's pods, reverse lights, such and such. So let's get that fuse block on and get it wired up. Okay, so got the positive and negative routed to the switch or the fuse panel here. Now, however, I have the old wiring from the aux beam that goes over to the battery. It is the same gauge wire as mic tuning, so I just left it alone so I don't have to reroute anything. Now, how I knew that positive goes on the correct side of the panel is they actually give you a diagram on the lid itself. So the lid would go on like so, and that's how you know there's positive and negative. Now, however, I might add like a plus sign right here just in case if the lid's ever off and we're messing around, we don't accidentally get it backwards, because I'm sure it would probably fry this thing. Now, if we go over to near the battery, I need to tie in the wiring still, but this is their 100 amp circuit breaker. The aux beam was only 60, so I went and switched it out. It bolted right in the same place though. So just need to tie that guy in and then hook up all of our light wiring back up, and we should be able to give her a shot. So I did notice to clear the lid, you actually have to put the wiring this way, not how I have it now. So let's fix that real quick. Clearance issues with the lid there. The lid back up. I'm gonna try to get this harness over a little more. Don't worry, we'll clean this up when we're all done, said and done here. So let's plug the panel in. Oh. All right, it's snapped in. Let's go over and hook the circuit breaker back up.
See? And put our little protective cover back on. There we go. That way it won't get arced on anything. Right, battery is connected, circuit breaker's hooked up. This diode light is showing that we have power now. So let's go inside and see what we got. All right, power on. Heck yeah. Change colors, change the brightness. I believe. I gotta mess around with it some more. But it turns it all off. Yeah, pretty cool. So let's get all the lights hooked backed up into the switch panel and then put our stickers on here, and then we'll go more in depth of how it works. Okay, so mic tuning has made it super easy to identify what light goes to what circuit. So these four, all right, let me turn the brightness down. These four right here on the switch panel get lit up. So those 4 buttons you saw inside are all 10 amp circuits. So it's really easy to identify what one goes where and where you'd like to place your items. All right, first major complaint I have on this thing, which I mean, aside from this one, it's really been a great, great product. But on, say your aux beam, you have common grounds all the time, right? So basically the ground is on all the time, and then when you hit the switch, it's switching the power. Now, see how this just lit up? Got 12 volts, and I'm on power. Nothing is turned on right now. So that means it's common power and a switched ground. So mic tuning's lights, their lights here, used to have a halo and a LED. Well, they still do. I could just plug the wires. There's the power for the LED, here's the power for the halo, and there's the ground. I could just plug the ground into one, the halo wire to a power on one circuit, and then the power for the LED on another circuit into the aux beam, and everything would work fine and dandy, no issues. However, because this is a common power with switched ground, now I can't power it that way anymore. So to make it work, I would have to add a relay, which the whole point in this system is to not have to add relays and extra wiring. I would have to add that relay, and then I would still have to turn the halos on. And then once I have the halos on, I could turn the power to the LED on. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to turn a switch on just to make something else work with another switch. So if I hit the pod switch, that switch would not work until I have the halo switch on. So for now, we're just going to tie it all in together because I don't want to add a bunch of extra wiring. But mic tuning, please take this to heart and make it work the other way, because this is supposed to be about simplicity, and you're just making a whole bunch of extra wiring if people want to tie lights together, especially LEDs. So yeah, that's actually making me kind of miss my aux beam now. I'm gonna still give the mic tuning a try for a while, because I already told my brother-in-law he could have the aux beam. But mic tuning, if you come out with it how the aux beam is wired, please send me that one, because I will love you forever. If not, I might have to switch back in the future. One other thing about that circuit also is my reverse light pods. I'll get back to the back of the Jeep. So these bad boys right here, I had wired in with the factory reverse lights and also with the aux beam switch panel. Now, because of this common positive setup that I'm talking about, which I'm not sure if I'm wording it right or not, let me know if I am, and a switched ground, it's actually causing stuff to backfeed in the Jeep. So when I tried to wire it up like I had it on the aux beam, basically the reverse light stayed on all the time. And then without the key in the ignition, I'd put the Jeep in reverse. It would actually kick the fuel pump on and turn the gauge cluster on. So, I mean, obviously that's not going to fly. So, yeah, I mean, if it was a common ground circuit with switched power, then it would just work how it used to. So for now, I had to cut out the reverse light again that is tied in and just have the pods on their own circuit. So yeah, that's one downside, but I'm gonna get 4 extra switches, and I get auto dimming with, I guess these have momentary too, so I'll show you that in a sec. Okay, so let's turn her on and go through all the steps. So there's power. Very bottom button here is switching colors. So there's all your color options. Now here's brightness in the middle. Okay, if you long press the brightness setting, go into settings mode, and now you can change into a strobe feature or a momentaries feature on each individual switch. So now that's in momentary setting, we can press, let's say, this switch. Okay, now all we have to do is press the on off to confirm. Okay, now it's a momentary switch. So as long as my finger is on it, it stays on. Let off, it goes. So that'd be very cool for controlling a horn, or I could see even controlling a winch. I mean, as long as it doesn't mess up, of course. You don't want your winch to accidentally run. But let's see about the strobe feature now. For the strobe feature, you want to go ahead and turn the unit on again. Turn that off. Hold the brightness setting until it turns red. Now it's flashing for momentary, right? Hit the brightness one more time. Now you're in strobe mode. So if we turn that switch on again, hit power off, repower it back on with the switch, now it's in strobe feature. Well guys, I hope you liked this video on the mic tuning switch panel. Not 100% sure if I'm willing to recommend it yet, as for that constant power issue. However, I mean, it does have a lot of great key features that the aux beam doesn't have. I mean, my aux beam didn't have momentary or strobe, or I guess they do have RGB now, but I don't think they did when I bought it. So, I mean, mic tuning has a huge step up for that, plus 4 extra switches. I think aux beam can only do 8 total. I don't think they have anything that holds more yet. So if they fix that that constant power issue and make it a constant ground with a switching power, then I 150% would recommend this all day long. But for American vehicles, it's just not optimum. I guess some European and Japanese manufactured vehicles run constant power a lot, so it makes sense there. But if you're gonna hit the American market, you gotta sell for American vehicles. But anyways, yeah, I hope you guys liked the video, and we'll have to check or test this thing. Yeah. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys liked the video, and we'll have to give this thing further testing and see how it does on the trail. I'm sure it'll do fine. But yeah, let me know if you have any other comments. Maybe there is something I'm doing wrong, but I had a couple other people look at it with me, and other than adding relays to make stuff work, there's really no other way around it we could figure out. So yeah, I mean, that's my major complaint. Also, one other thing before I go, this is not a fused ignition switch panel, so it can turn on anytime, which can be convenient if you don't want your Jeep keys with you and you just want to reach in and turn on a light real quick. So it's personal preference. My aux beam was fused ignition, so it only turned on when the key is on. So I mean, you just got to remember not to kill your batteries. So but yeah, you guys have a good one. We'll catch you later. Alright, Larry's standing next to his Jeep. We got the rear on the weight, on its own weight. How tall are you, Larry? He's almost 6 feet tall. This thing sits at least 4 inches higher than my Jeep. So, yeah, this thing's gonna be a monster.